Putting patients first conference is very timely for addressing this crisis of caring in our conventional healthcare institutions. It will outline the basis for transformation of healthcare from the inside out. We will today address issues relating to patient-centered care, the highly successful philosophy that has been championed, refined, and practiced by Dr. Anirudh and Dr. Anjali Malpani. Let us today, together, take a pledge to strive to put into practice the philosophy behind each of today's speakers' presentation and return from here a wiser, more caring, and informative patient than what we were when we entered the Hall of Harmony. We will all get an opportunity for an active interaction session after all speakers have participated. May I introduce you to our first speaker who has been championing the cause of patients purely from the patient's point of view. IVF specialist and founder of Health Education Library for People, a not-for-profit institution which works on his vision to create empowered patients and provide information therapy. He likes to be addressed as a patient advocate and believes that patients are the largest untapped healthcare resource that information therapy is a powerful medicine. Making sure every patient is treated like a VIP is a topic to be presented by our first speaker. Please welcome Dr. Anirudh Malpani.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, good morning everyone. And I'm really glad to see so many people here. What we're really trying to do is address the fact that everyone talks about the problems with the Indian healthcare industry. And it's usually situations like we don't have enough hospital beds, or hospitals charge too much, or we need to provide subsidized care, or there aren't enough doctors and we need to create more medical colleges and more doctors. And I actually think that's not really the right approach. I think the right approach is we need to understand that the only reason the healthcare industry exists is if you look at this picture. I'm sure if you look at this picture, no one would talk in terms of a healthcare industry. And I really think also it's a very capitalistic kind of term. You know, really, when you're sick, what do you want? You want a doctor like this person to come and hold your hand. Now remember, perhaps there was very little this doctor could actually do in those days. There were no antibiotics available. There was no diagnostic tests. He couldn't do an MRI scan or a CT scan. And yet, what does this image really tell you? It tells you that this doctor cares about this patient. He's willing to hold the patient's hand. He's willing to sit with the patient and do whatever is required. And sometimes there may not necessarily be much you can do in terms of prescribing or surgery or, x-rays or anything else. But just the fact that you're available for the patient and you care for the patient makes such a big difference. I think doctors are powerful medicine, and sometimes doctors tend to forget that. I think doctors are sometimes so busy, there's so many patients to see, such strong, long lines and so much. You keep on reading in the newspapers about how this doctor did this and how this doctor got beaten up and how there's so much bad press. And sometimes I think we as doctors forget that we're so privileged to be able to take care of patients in their time of need. Just like this doctor has been doing, even though he didn't have any very fancy equipment, he didn't have much money, but he was always available. And that's the kind of image we need to continue propagating. Unfortunately, this is what's happened. I'm a second generation doctor. My father is here. And my father is my role model. Growing up as a kid, my dad is a doctor. My mom was a doctor. And that's what he used to talk about. He would talk about patients and what you could do. And he would also talk about how things were changing. How patients didn't trust doctors that much anymore. How too many people were just interested in, how do we make money? How do we see more patients? How do we do this? All the wrong reasons, really. And unfortunately, this is now what the general impression is. And it's interesting. If you ask an individual patient what he feels about the medical profession, the approach is, all crooked. Sab paisa banate hai. Unnecessary operation karte hai, jada tests karte hai, ye karte hai, wo karte hai. No one really regards the profession in high regard anymore, unfortunately, as compared to 50 years ago, when there wasn't much in the form of tests or treatments you could offer, but the medical profession was highly regarded. And today, ironically, there's a lot you can do in the terms of tests and technologies, but the profession isn't highly regarded. But people still have high regards for their own personal doctor. Yeah, the medical profession may be crap, but my doctor is very good. My doctor cares for me, talks to me, is extremely good. So I think, how do we keep on reinforcing that so that the medical profession no longer has this image which has happened? And I think this is part of the problem. It's such a messed up system right now. Unfortunately, ideally, the right approach would have been, and I only have 7 slides, so I wasn't allowed to put up the yet one, but the right approach is the patient would have been at the center. And unfortunately, what happens today is the doctor. Everything is very doctor-centric. But the poor doctor has very little freedom anymore. There are so many pressures all the time. You're worried about government rules, regulations, this particular clause, this is allowed, this is not allowed. There's always, if something goes wrong, then you have the press on your back. There are health insurance companies who tell you this is what you're allowed to do, this is how much you're allowed to charge, this is what we're not going to do. So you end up spending more time filling up forms rather than taking care of your patient. So not only is the physician the loser in all this, but obviously the patient tends to suffer too. And I think this is what happens. And I think, whether these monkeys are doctors or whether it's patients, it's true. We all know what's happening, but we all keep quiet. We all know doctors take cuts and kickbacks, but everyone pretend none of this happens. Patients know it happens. Doctors, but I think, pretending that a problem doesn't exist is not a very clever way of addressing the problem. It's far better. Okay, fine, there's a problem, there's corruption, there's this. Bring it out into the open. And I think that's the one thing we need to emphasize. We need to emphasize transparency and openness. And I think one of the things we want to be able to do this is use technology in order to do this. And one of my dreams is that every doctor in India should have their own website. And we think if that happens, you're forced to be transparent on a website. You can't say something on a website and do something differently in the clinic, which is sometimes what doctors do. They say stuff within the 4 walls of a clinic and then say, I never said that, or that's what the patient heard, or it wasn't right. Whereas when you put something down in black and white on a website, you're bound to that. And not only are you going to be much more careful because you put it up in black and white, your patient has much more confidence because the patient can read, okay, this is what your charges are, this is what you do, this is what you specialize in. So it's not like you say one thing and do something else. And I think once that starts happening, this entire concept of information therapy will fall into place brilliantly. Internet penetration is increasing. Lots of people have computers, people have smartphones. I think a lot of these changes are occurring. And I think India is really a very exciting time to be in. Because I think clever doctors who understand the problems today and will then provide clever solutions are going to do extremely well. I think this is what's happened, especially in places like Bombay. People keep on talking about not enough doctors. Sometimes Bombay has too many doctors. You have this one little patient and all these doctors fighting about it, so the patient's completely confused. You have chest pain, you go to a cardiologist, he